Look at Sunoiler taking it nice and easy, a smart move. Like a chess player contemplating the opening move, they're planning several steps ahead.
Spot on. They're mentally mapping each corner, each straight. It's not just about the car, it's about strategy and foresight.
Wayne Pearson is on the outlap, not just warming up the tires but also warming up their instincts, getting that racer's intuition dialed in.
True that. They're getting the feel of the track, the car, the conditions. It's all about setting the stage for what's to come.
Sunoiler posted 138.526 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? There's the first flying lap for Megasaurus 55, hitting 134.203. It's a start, but they'll be looking to iron out those kinks as they get more laps under their belt.
Right on, Rob. It's early in the session, so there's plenty of time to experiment and find those extra tenths of a second.
Rob Keane is rolling out for the first sniff of the track. It's all about feeling the car, the tarmac, and getting the mind in the zone.
Absolutely, Rob. The out lap is like the opening chapter of a book. A Euro sets the tone for the whole story. They'll be checking how the car's responding, getting a real feel for the conditions today at Jerez Moto.
Mate, sometimes I reckon the pit wall looks like they're controlling a spaceship with all those dials and knobs.
You're not wrong. Each of those adjustments, from brake bias to differential settings, has a profound effect on car behavior. It's like tuning a guitar, but instead of strings, you're tweaking mechanical symphonies to get the car singing just right on the track.
Ever heard the pit crew chat about wheel camber? Sounds like a dance move, but trust me, it's all car talk.
Haha, yeah, camber is the angle of the wheel relative to the road. A bit of negative camber, where the top of the tire leans inwards, can give more grip in the corners. But too much and you're looking at premature wear on the inside of the tire. It's a balancing act, and each track requires its own setting.
There goes Rob Keane, on their first dance with Jerez Moto. Every bend, every straight is a chance to learn, to adapt.
Yep, and it's about syncing with the car too. Making sure everything's in harmony. It's like tuning an instrument before a big concert.
Sunoiler has a best lap time of 1:36.371. Megasaurus 55's first flyer is a solid start, clocking in at 2:38.599. They're getting a feel for the track, but there's room to shave off a few more seconds.
Absolutely, Rob. It's all about finding those little tweaks, adjusting the line here, braking a tad later there. Every lap is a learning curve.
Sunoiler posted at 1:35.978 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? With just 252 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. Watch as Smells Like We takes it nice and easy on this outlap. It's not just about warming up the tires, it's about getting into that mental pit lane, tuning into the race mindset.
For sure, Rob, they're calibrating everything a euro. The brakes, the steering, the throttle response. It's a crucial part of laying down the groundwork for a successful practice session.
Sunoiler's first serious lap is in the books with a time of 1:35.466. Good effort, but I'm expecting them to really push the envelope in the next few laps.
Yeah, it's about building that momentum, Rob. Fine-tuning their approach with each turn, each lap, getting more out of the car and themselves.
Let's talk rubber. Tire pressures ain't just about pumping them up and hitting the road. It's like a fine art.
Couldn't have said it better. Tire pressures can dramatically impact the contact patch, the actual bit of tire touching the tarmac. Too high and you lose temperature and grip, too low, and you risk overheating, uneven wear or even a blowout. Each tire will have its own sweet spot where they grip best.
Sunoiler posted 1:34.581 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Alright, Megasaurus 55 has put down a 1:38.845. It's a decent benchmark, but I reckon there's more juice to squeeze out of that. The SMP Racing BR03 was developed by BR Engineering, a Russian team consisting of 100% Russian technical specialists. This is a new racing sport prototype. The transmission is of foreign production. However, almost all other components and joints were manufactured in Russia. The car is certified by the Russian Automotive Federation to perform in national competitions in Russia.
For sure, Rob, it's early days. They're just starting to sync up with the track. We'll likely see those times tumble as they dial in.
There's the first flying lap for Sunoiler, hitting 142.460. It's a start, but they'll be looking to iron out those kinks as they get more laps under their belt.
Right on, Rob. It's early in the session, so there's plenty of time to experiment and find those extra tenths of a second.
There's Wayne Pearson, gently nudging the beast as they head out. The outlap is where you whisper to the car, "Let's dance," before the real party starts.
You got that right. It's a gentle waltz before the full-on rock concert of the race. They're testing the waters, getting a feel for every bend and straight of Jerez Moto.
And off goes Eddie G, easing into the rhythm of Jerez Moto. This lap is like the first sip of your morning coffee, waking up the senses, priming the engines.
Yeah, it's about syncing up with the machine, getting that perfect harmony between driver and car. It's like a prelude to a symphony that's about to unfold on the track.
Sunoiler's first flyer is a solid start, clocking in at 134.173. They're getting a feel for the track, but there's room to shave off a few more seconds.
Absolutely, Rob. It's all about finding those little tweaks, adjusting the line here, braking a tad later there. Every lap is a learning curve.
Rob has a best lap time of 133.116. You know, mate, watching these practice sessions, you think the driver just jumps in and goes. But there's a heck of a lot more to it. Starting with that aero package, the balance between drag and downforce.
Oh, for sure. You tweak the front wing just a smidge, and you could have a totally different beast on your hands. Depending on the track, they might want more downforce for those tight corners or reduce it for the long straights to maximize speed.
Rob crosses the line with their first flyer, clocking a 131.653. They're getting to grips with Jerez Moto, feeling out its quirks and corners.
It's like the first round of a chess match, Rob. They're making their opening moves, setting up for the later, faster laps where they'll really show their hand.
Wayne Pearson is out there, taking it slow and steady on the outlap. This lap is like the calm before the storm, a moment of zen before pushing the limits.
That's right. It's about understanding the track's personality today, a Euro. Each day, each lap can tell a different story, especially at a track like Jerez Moto.
With just 243 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. Wayne Pearson is in Expo 92. Megasaurus 55 posted a 139.113 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Alright, smells like we has put down a 135.846. It's a decent benchmark, but I reckon there's more juice to squeeze out of that. The SMP Racing BR03 was developed by BR Engineering, a Russian team consisting of 100% Russian technical specialists. This is a new racing sport prototype. The transmission is of foreign production. However, almost all other components and joints were manufactured in Russia. The car is certified by the Russian Automotive Federation to perform in national competitions in Russia.
For sure, Rob, it's early days. They're just starting to sync up with the track. We'll likely see those times tumble as they dial in.
Roll Postmo is on the outlap, not just warming up the tires but also warming up their instincts, getting that racer's intuition dialed in.
True that. They're getting the feel of the track, the car, the conditions. It's all about setting the stage for what's to come.
Now, here's a term some might not be familiar with: roll bar stiffness. Sounds technical, doesn't it?
It does, but in essence, it's about how the car reacts to lateral forces, especially during cornering. Adjusting the roll bar can change how the car behaves mid-corner. A softer setting can be more forgiving, but a stiffer one might give the driver a quicker response, albeit with less margin for error.
So, for those tuning in and wondering what's the go with these practice sessions, well, it ain't just about flexing their engines. It's about synergy, mate. Getting the driver, the car, and the track to sing in harmony.
Couldn't have put it better. We liken it to rehearsing a dance. Every step, every turn must be practiced until it's second nature on the big stage.
Megasaurus 55 posted 133.996 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Wayne Pearson's first flyer is a solid start, clocking in at 140.537. They're getting a feel for the track, but there's room to shave off a few more seconds.
Absolutely, Rob. It's all about finding those little tweaks, adjusting the line here, braking a tad later there. Every lap is a learning curve.
Smells Like We has a best lap time of 1:32.677. Wayne Pearson has a best lap time of 1:38.351. It's time to separate the contenders from the pretenders here at Jerez Moto, as the drivers rev up their engines and put their skills to the test in the qualifying session.
The pressure is on to set the fastest lap times, and the tension in the air is palpable.
Wayne Pearson is on their outlap. What a fantastic showing from Wayne Pearson in qualifying. They currently hold the top spot and are in prime position for a strong starting position. Their lap times have been exceptional, and they have showcased their talent and determination.
I couldn't agree more, Rob. Wayne Pearson is displaying an exceptional level of skill and confidence. They are in a class of their own and have taken control of this qualification session.
It's a very still day here at Jerez Moto, as we're getting ready to get things underway. Starting from pole position is the best possible outcome for Megasaurus 55. Our second place starter for today's race is none other than Eddie G.
I think we are all looking forward to seeing
The green flag's up and the Sheilas and blokes are bolting. This is the real deal, Hal.
These first moments can set the tone for the rest of the race. It's all about keeping a clear head and making smart decisions.
As the drivers get this race underway, let me give a shout out to the admin team at AssettoCorsaFriends for making this all possible. Heroes one and all. I can't wait to see how this race will play out.
There are a few drivers with a point to prove, and a few with some grudges to bear. Will we see a clean race today?
It's brilliant to see such a full grid here today.
It all comes down to this rock, where the rubber meets the road. There's no more time for talk, no more practice. The teams have done all they can. Now it comes down to Megasaurus 55 to bring it home.
The tension is palpable here. No one will want to make a crucial mistake on the first lap. You know, they say, steady as she goes, and that's exactly what Rob Keane's doing. Holding on to 4, maybe they've got a trick or 2 up their sleeve for later.
Let's hope they all brought their A games today.
Fair dinkum. Rob's finding those aerodynamic sweet spots. Could be adjusting that front wing angle to cut through the air like a hot knife through butter.
Exactly what Rob always Keane needed. They can't afford to lose any more ground to Eddie G.
During your racing career, Hal, did you have any specific techniques to regain concentration if you felt it slipping?
Yes, Rob, I had a few techniques. One was to take a couple of deep breaths and briefly reset my focus. Another was to use a specific keyword or phrase as a mental trigger to refocus my mind on the task at hand.
Sunoiler is placed 4th at the moment. They are hoping to keep their distance ahead of Jack M team, who is 1.1 seconds behind. Rob always Keane wants to close that gap with Eddie G.
There is no room for error in this battle.
It's a close race between Roll Postma and Wayne Pearson in 6th. It's looking good for Roll Postma, who has gained places and put some distance between themselves and Wayne Pearson.
Yes, but Roel Postma can't rest on their laurels. They have to keep pushing to consolidate their position.
This is what it's all about, folks. Sunoiler is in hot pursuit of Rob, who's just trying to stay ahead. Stone the Crows. Sunoiler's on fire, surging ahead like there's a free round at the pub waiting. Hello, 3rd. The age-old challenge. Sunoiler is trying to catch Rob Keane, sort of like trying to find a matching sock in the laundry. The struggle is real, folks. While Roll Postma is not under immediate threat from Smells Like Weed, they still need to stay focused and avoid any errors. Any slip-up could cost them their position.
I've seen kangaroos that close the gap quicker in the bush than Smells Like Weed is doing now. They've got their work cut out for them.
No worries for Roll Postma, who's leaving Smells Like Weed for dust, as though they're a parched bloke chasing the beer van. Breaking alert, looks like Wayne Pearson's playing in the dirt. Took me back to when I tried rallying in my mum's old sedan. Good times, expensive repairs. The tension is thick enough to cut with a knife. Rob's inching ever closer to Megasaurus 55.
The gap between them is just over 0.9 seconds. Who will have the speed and skill to come out on top?
Well, don't come the raw prawn. Rob's giving it some stick, pulling Megasaurus 55 into a mere 0.6 seconds. You can feel the tension in the air.
The drivers are all focused, putting everything on the line for a chance at victory, pushing themselves and their machines to the limit.
And let's not forget about the incredible machines themselves.
Absolutely. It's amazing to think.
Sorry to cut in here. Oh dear, Rob has dropped down to 3rd. If I had $1 for every time Rob Always Keane closed a gap like this, I'd have enough for a pint at the local. Get ready, Megasaurus 55, the thunder from down under is coming.
Coming out of Cedo Ponds, Keane's got the downforce and grip. That car's as sticky as North Carolina barbecue sauce, and he's looking to stick right to Megasaurus 55's tail.
This is what racing is all about. Two fierce competitors pushing each other to the limit. It seems like Roll Postma is struggling. They are not able to maintain their pace. The excitement is palpable. This is going to be a race for the ages.
The drivers are executing their strategies to perfection, making the most of every opportunity. This is what top-level racing is all about.
As rubber meets road and strategy meets luck, Rob is etching their story in second.
That's right. They can't afford to make any mistakes or let up in their performance. Every point counts in this championship.
This is where legends are made. Which driver will rise to the occasion? Hold on a second. Oh, mate. That's how I used to drive after a couple of bevies at the pub. Not the right line, but definitely entertaining.
Whoops, Megasaurus 55 is going to be kicking themselves.
Struth. If Jack M team gets any closer to Roll Postma, they'll be asking to share a meat pie. Watch them duel it out at Michelin. Now isn't this a show? Smells like we's gotten the bit between their teeth, and they're reeling in Jack M team. Look at them weave and bob through Assetto ponds, folks.
With Smells Like We on the hunt, Jack M team better not blink. Every split second counts in this tango.
Remember when we thought Smells Like We had peaked? Think again. They're harnessing every bit of downforce, and it's making Jack M team's mirrors awfully busy.
This is where the race gets really exciting. Both drivers will be pushing to the limit to gain the advantage.
Oi, Smells Like We. If you wanted a tour of Jack M team's rear bumper, you've got a front row seat. Better make your move before the show's over. Whoa there. Smells Like We is sticking to Jack M team like glue. You reckon Jack M team's feeling the pressure? 'Cause I sure would.
Smells Like We is following Jack M team so closely, they could start charging them rent for occupying the same space on the track.
Someone's revved up after lunch. Smells Like We's blitzed ahead, claiming fourth.
You know, back in Carolina, we say, go big or go home. Looks like Smells Like We took that to heart, hitting fourth.
A twist in our tale. Smells Like We's slipping more than a bar of soap in a bath, now at fifth. It's all eyes on this battle as Jack M team in fourth tries to hold off the challenge of Smells Like We.
It's a close race as we can see, and Jack M team is doing a great job defending their position. Will Smells Like We be able to squeeze through?
Oh, this is getting intense. Smells Like We is just behind Jack M team.
Sweet tea and biscuits. Smells Like We's closing in on Jack M team. I reckon we'll see some fireworks at Dry Sack.
What a move. Smells Like We has moved up to fourth. Blimey, the talent on the track today is like watching kangaroos on steroids.
Yeah, and just like those kangaroos, these drivers can really hop into action. You reckon they've got a pocket full of secrets?
Things are heating up as Jack M team tries to close the gap to Smells Like We.
Dang, Jack M team's chasing Smells Like We like a Southern belle after a gentleman with a fat wallet. This is racier than a late-night movie marathon.
A solid performance from Keen, who is holding down first. Rob is hitting the apexes like a pro, increasing their lead over Megasaurus 55. But can they keep it up without spinning out?
That's right, Rob, it's all fun and games until someone pops a tire. Let's hope both of them can keep it on the black stuff.
What do you think, Hal? Are there any specific factors that could lead to a driver losing concentration during a race?
There are several factors, Rob. Fatigue, stress, changing track conditions, or even issues within the team can all contribute to a lapse in concentration. It's essential for drivers to stay mentally resilient and adapt to these challenges.
The gap between Megasaurus 55 and Roll Postma is widening. It's now up to 1.6 seconds. Blimey, Wayne Pearson is so far back, they might as well stop for a beer at the pub. If they spot my ex there, tell them to drive faster. Whoa, Jack M team took that corner like my Uncle Baz after a six-pack, all over the shop. Oh mate, smells like we's more out of place than a vegan at a Bunnings sausage sizzle. Time to throw another gear on the Barbie. The drivers are getting faster as they settle into their cars and get used to the conditions with smells like we just putting in their best laps so far with a 1 minute.
Things are hotting up now, Rob, and it'll be interesting to see if they can improve further on that time.
Sorry to cut in here, it looks like Wayne Pearson has been called into the pits. If smells like we goes any slower, they'll join me in my failed dreams collection. Front row seats available.
Well, butter my biscuit. Smells like we's hanging back like they're waiting for an inheritance. But ain't nobody dying up front.
It's all about consistency for Roll Postma, who is currently second.
Spot on, Rob. Still waters run deep, and even if it looks calm now, Roel Postma needs to maintain that razor-sharp edge.
Crikey, Roll Postma's lead is slipping away quicker than a roux on the hop. Megasaurus 55 is now just 2.3 seconds behind.
Roel Postma's got their work cut out for them. They're gonna need to keep a cool head to fend off Megasaurus 55.
Blimey, smells like we's gunning it in fourth. Just a whisker behind Megasaurus 55. Hope he's got his budgie smugglers on, cause things are about to get wet and wild.
Each roar of the engine, each squeal of the tire is a chapter in this epic duel. Who'll pen the perfect ending?
Smells like we and Megasaurus 55 have a gap between them that's growing like Jack's beanstalk. We're talking 1.2 seconds now. Megasaurus 55 is on a charge. Their split time shows they have upped their pace. Hold on a moment, a strategic misstep perhaps? Megasaurus 55's place has shifted to fourth. The plot thickens. Not just about the leaders today, right? Even the tailenders. They're like hungry dingo pups fighting over a bone. Love the spirit.
Spot on. Every second is gold, and even a hiccup, a tiny one, can make them tumble. AssettoCorsaFriends, where the magic happens. Although, between us, what's a hiccup for an AI?
Struth, Keen's driving like they've stolen it, putting some serious distance between themselves and Roll Postma. Is there anything left in Roll Postma's tank? During your racing career, how did you determine when it was the right time to pit for fresh tires due to tire degradation?
It was a combination of factors, Rob. Monitoring lap times, communicating with the team about tire wear, and assessing the car's handling were all crucial in deciding when to make a pit stop for fresh tires.
From where we're sitting, Rob Keen seems unmovable from that first. You'd reckon Jack M team was tracing the shadows of ancient Dreamtime stories with that sprawling distance ahead. It's a trek that rivals the tales of old bunyip chasers.
Feels like they're chasing moonshine dreams in broad daylight, doesn't it? But every now and then, the dream becomes real. Now, Racing is a lot like Southern barbecue. It's all about patience and keeping the heat just right. So, let's see if Jack M team can cook up a comeback.
It may seem like Smells Like We is far behind, but Roll Postma can't afford to let their guard down. One mistake could give Smells Like We an opening to catch up.
Well, in the rearview mirror of life, Smells Like We might look closer than they appear. But on this track, they've got some miles to cover to catch Roel Postma.
Well, butter my biscuit. Roll Postma is no slouch, mate. That lap time's gonna give Smells Like We some grey hairs.
Roel Postma's driving like they stole something, and that something is Smells Like We's dignity. Ouch.
The strategy plays such a crucial role, doesn't it? Choosing when to pit, what tyre compound to use. It's like a high-speed chess game out there.
Exactly, and to think they're making these decisions on the fly, with so many variables at play. It's a mix of intuition, experience, and sheer guts. Kudos to the team's strategists and drivers alike.
Megasaurus 55 isn't just racing. They're weaving a narrative, sitting proudly in fourth. The gap between Roll Postma and Smells Like We may be wide, but that doesn't mean Roll Postma is safe. They have to keep their concentration and avoid any lapses in performance. Roll Postma's in front, but Smells Like We is clinging on like a koala to a eucalyptus branch, reducing the gap to 1.0 seconds.
This is a critical moment in the race for Roel Postma. They need to find some extra speed and stay ahead of Smells Like We.
Remember when Smells Like We was on the pace? Neither do I kinda like my recollection of last Friday night. Truth, Smells Like We's not here to muck about. The gap to Roll Postma is dropping faster than a hot pie at the footy, now at 1.2 seconds.
Well, butter my butt and call me a biscuit. Smells Like We's using that draft from Roel Postma real effectively, shaving off tenths every lap.
The G-forces these drivers endure, especially around corners like Ducatos, it's no joke. You'd think they're astronauts preparing for launch.
Oh, for sure. It's a testament to their fitness and training regimes. Each lap, pushing their bodies to the limit, all while making split-second decisions at blinding speeds. Respect.
The echo of the exhausts, the rubber meeting road, and there's Megasaurus 55, commanding the fourth.
They say racing's a game of nerves, and Megasaurus 55's surely holding theirs, keeping that fourth spot warm.
Impressive stuff from Megasaurus 55, who has managed to pull away from Jack M team, leaving them choking in their exhaust fumes. You reckon these drivers do any off-track training? Maybe a bit of kangaroo boxing?
Haha, if they do, sign me up. But I think most stick to wrestling with the steering wheel.
Cricky, Smells Like We's got more ground to cover than I do at the family barbecue when Auntie Sharon's had one too many. Good luck, mate. It looks like Rob has found another gear in the last sector of the race. And that, folks, is how it's done. A solid performance and great win from Rob.
And that's why Keen is one of the best in the business. A dominant display of driving from start to finish, leaving the rest of the pack in the dust.
What a drive from Roll Postma, securing a great second place finish. Excellent focus from Smells Like We to secure a fantastic third place on the podium. Wayne Pearson brings home sixth. Fourth sees Megasaurus 55. Fifth is Jack M team. In 8th, it's Eddie G. There's a little bit of wind in the air today here at Jerez Moto, as we're getting ready to kick things off.
The drivers are looking focused out there on the grid. I'm excited for this one, Rob.
Starting from pole position is a great opportunity for Wayne Pearson to take control of the race. The second position belongs to Jack M team.
What can they do with that? The SMP Racing BR03 was developed by BR.
Green's out, we're in for a blinder. Who's gonna snag that front spot?
Right here, this is the make or break moment. Gotta have the smarts and the skills to navigate this crowd. It's like trying to change lanes on a busy freeway during rush hour.
The stewards will be hoping that there aren't too many incidents for them to pick over when the dust settles on this one.
I'm really looking forward to seeing how this race unfolds.
These early salvos will shape the outcome of this race. All the drivers will be trying to take advantage of the pack whilst they're still bunched up. Bit of a cruisy start for Smells Like We, just feeling out the track at Jerez Moto. You know, like a dingo sussing out the lay of the land. Establishing an early advantage will be crucial to the outcome of this race. The pressure is on whilst the field is bunched. Who can keep their cool and take advantage?
What a beautiful day for racing here at Jerez Moto. This is going to be good to watch.
Get ready, folks. With Smells Like We tailing this close to Megasaurus 55, Expo 92 is about to become a hotspot.
It's going to be a close one. Smells Like We will have to push hard to create an opportunity.
Rob could be looking for a way up the inside of Smells Like We.
To achieve anything in this game, you must be prepared to dabble in the boundary of disaster.
The gap between Megasaurus 55 and Jack M Team is razor thin as they vie for first in this nail-biting contest. Rob wants to get into Smells Like We slipstream. The action is non-stop as Megasaurus 55 shadows Jack M Team through every twist and turn, determined to claim first. An impressive showing from Megasaurus 55, who has gained positions and left Jack M Team in the dust.
If this were chess, I'd say Megasaurus 55 just put Jack M Team in check. Brilliant move.
Hang on, has Megasaurus 55 just played their wild card? They're lounging at second now.
Such position changes can be deceptive. It might look like a setback for Megasaurus 55, but seasoned viewers know better. The race is far from over.
This is where the race gets really interesting. Eddie G is closing in on Smells Like We.
The roaring engines are echoing Eddie's battle cry. Smells like we. Can you hear the thunder?
Jack M Team wants to find a way round Rob Keane.
Do they have the speed for a move, and more importantly, do they have the talent?
It's like watching two predators circling each other, waiting for the perfect moment to pounce. It seems like Rob is struggling. Their last lap time wasn't as good as Megasaurus 55's.
It will be interesting to see if Megasaurus 55 can keep outpacing Rob.
Mate, Rob's really giving it a burl out there. Ripping it up like a croc in a waterhole.
I tell ya, I haven't seen that kind of ferocity since my days at Indy. But you Aussies, always gotta bring up the wildlife, huh?
It's a game of inches now as Smells Like We tails Jack M Team closely, ready to capitalize on any mistake.
You can feel the intensity in the air. The slightest mistake could cost either of them the race.
Hold on to your hats, folks. Rob is right on the heels of Megasaurus 55, and we're in for a wild ride.
The chase between Rob and Megasaurus.
Wait, by the looks of it, Jack M Team reckoned Jerez Moto had a hidden shortcut. Too bad there isn't one. The race is really heating up. Smells Like We is hunting down Jack M Team with everything they've got. Well, I'd raise a toast to that move. Cheers to Smells Like We for nabbing third. As a former racing driver, how challenging was it to adapt your driving style to account for tire degradation throughout a race?
It was a constant challenge, Rob. Tire degradation can change the car's balance and handling, so drivers need to be versatile and adaptable. It requires continuous adjustments to driving techniques and a keen understanding of the car's behavior.
I've seen kangaroos jump less than the sparks between Rob and Megasaurus 55. It's almost like a Saturday night date, but with a lot more rubber burning.
I think they are going to take them.
Looks like that's a mistake from Rob Keane. This could be costly. Alright, lads and ladies, it's crunch time. Keane is sniffing around Smells Like We like a dog with a bone. And it looks like they might just take a bite out of second. The gap between Eddie G and Rob Keane is not insurmountable, but it's going to take a mistake from Eddie G to bring Rob Keane into play. Aussie, 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 oi, oi, oi. Eddie G is in the lead, but Rob Keane is closing in and the gap is now 0.9 seconds. With every twist and turn, Keen is shadowing Eddie G, waiting to pounce like a lion on the hunt. The gap between Rob Keen and Eddie G is getting smaller.
Holy smokes. Rob Keen's extracting every ounce of horsepower from that power unit. They're tailing Eddie G tighter than a belt after Thanksgiving dinner.
Fantastic move from Keen, who has just gained a position. Eddie G is pushing really hard, but as we know, pushing too hard can lead to other mistakes, like locking up the brakes or missing a shift. These drivers are walking a tightrope between pushing the limits and making costly errors.
Absolutely. It's all about finding that sweet spot where you're pushing the car to its limits without crossing the line into reckless driving. That's where experience and skill come into play.
Eddie G is trying their best, but can't seem to find the pace to keep up with Rob at the moment. This isn't just racing, it's a duel. Watch as Rob zeroes in on Smells Like We, blade sharpened and ready. Keen's been working the tyre temps, and it's paying off. Grip's better than a kangaroo on a trampoline. Watch out, Smells Like We. Crikey, Jack M Team's got a gap ahead as vast as the Simpson Desert. The bloke's really got to pull up his socks to close that chasm.
Sure as sugar, down in Carolina, we'd say they're trailing like a turtle in a rabbit race.
It looks like Eddie G is pushing hard to catch up to Rob Keen. The gap is over a second, but Eddie G is not giving up just yet. Can they close the distance and make a move on Rob Keen? Gee whiz, incident alert. Looks like Wayne Pearson is testing the off-road capabilities of their ride.
Holy smokes. Wayne Pearson's serving up some backyard barbecue with that smoke show. Just missing the ribs.
Rob is not able to keep their pace consistent. So far they are 0.37 seconds down. It's an intense battle for position as Wayne Pearson tries to outmaneuver Jack M Team. This is edge of your seat racing. It's not looking good for Wayne Pearson. They are still behind Jack M Team and the gap is increasing. They are going to need to dig a bit deeper to turn this around. Cricky. Roll Postmas sticking to Smells Like We like Vegemite on toast. This is more tense than a possum in headlights. Good on ya, Roll Postma. Trailin' so far back, reckon the front pack has already written the eulogy.
Indeed, the tension is palpable as Roel Postma tries to reel in Smells Like We. But Smells Like We is not making it easy, maintaining a consistent pace. Can Roel Postma find some extra pace to bring the fight to Smells Like We?
Tell ya what, Wayne Pearson's trailing harder than my belt after Christmas dinner. Reckon he's got a plan up his sleeve, or is he just here for the sausage sizzle? Great driving from Wayne Pearson, who has just gained a place and moved up to 6th. The gap between Smells Like We in 4th and Eddie G remains over a second, but Smells Like We is not letting up. They're pushing hard and looking for any opportunity to close the gap up. Can they pull it back in the remaining 8 minutes?
Well, shoot, if Smells Like We was any more laid back, they'd be horizontal. Reckon they're daydreaming of those cheerleaders again?
Blimey, Smells Like We's shifted gears and the results are clear. Cruising up to 3rd just like that.
You can't argue with results like that. Smells Like We is really making their mark on this race.
Even though Jack M Team is a fair way behind Wayne Pearson, they can't afford to let their guard down. Wayne Pearson is still vulnerable to mistakes.
Reckon Jack M Team's starting to feel a bit like they're out in the outback. They can see the horizon, but it's a long way off. Good on ya, Wayne Pearson, for keeping that distance.
Well, I'll be a monkey's Uncle Hal, but Smells Like We's plans have gone walkabout right now. They're having a proper Barry Crocker keeping up with Eddie G. This is where the skill and precision of the drivers really comes into play. Jack M Team is chasing Wayne Pearson in P6.
It's all about finding the perfect opportunity. Jack M Team needs to stay patient and wait for Wayne Pearson to make a mistake.
I tell you what, Jack M Team has got more problems than a maths book right now. Wayne Pearson is leaving them in a cloud of dust. Tell ya what, Roll Postma is trailing like my mate Dave after a bender. Hope there's no random testing today.
Absolutely. Roel Postma in 4th will need to be patient and carefully work to reduce that gap without overdriving it, as they can't afford to take unnecessary risks and risk an off or damaging their car. Let's see if they have what it takes to get back into the game here.
It's a thrilling pursuit as Jack M Team is right behind Wayne Pearson, keeping the pressure on for 6th place. Talk about pressure. Jack M Team is caught in the middle, feeling the heat from both Sunoiler and Wayne Pearson. Would y'all look at that gap? Smells like we's got a better chance of finding a sober Aussie on Australia Day. But hey, we love an underdog. Go get them, Tiger. We got a close battle as Jack M Team closes in on Wayne Pearson.
This is the moment where legends are made. These drivers will go down in history as the ones who fought tooth and nail for the top spot.
Jack M Team needs to get more consistent. Hell, they have just put in a slower lap than Wayne Pearson.
Whoa there, partner. Jack M Team's slipping behind like a pickup on a slick road. Wayne Pearson's showing them how it's done.
A great moment for Jack M Team, who has just gained a place and moved up the standings. The gap between Smells Like We and Eddie G is expanding faster than a bull's waistline. It's now a whopping 0.4 seconds. Hal, can you share some strategies that drivers use to manage tire degradation during a race?
Certainly, Rob. Some strategies include adjusting the car's setup for better tire life, altering driving lines to reduce wear, and using tire management techniques like lift and coast to preserve grip for as long as possible.
Blimey, Roll Postman's determination reminds me of a kangaroo in a hopping contest.
Well, over here in the States, it's more like a squirrel chasing down its last nut before winter. Either way, it's entertaining to watch.
The best laid plans of mice and men, haha, but it's certainly not going to plan for Roll Postma right now as they are struggling to keep up with Smells Like We. This is a thrilling battle as Smells Like We edges closer to Eddie G in their fight for P2. Tire degradations are right pain in the ass, but Smells Like We's handling it like a champ. Getting real up close and personal with Eddie G, aren't they? Roll Postma is giving it their all as they chase down Smells Like We in P3.
There's a razor-thin line between glory and disaster, and both drivers are dancing right on it.
Fair dinkum, Roll Postma is getting a wriggle on. The gap to Smells Like We is now down to a whisker at 0.8 seconds. Watching the drivers handle their cars is like watching a croc handler at a wildlife show. There's a finesse to it. But one wrong move, and you're in a world of hurt.
Oh, for sure. It's like trying to rope a bull in a rodeo. It looks easy from the stands, but up close, it's all about skill, timing, and knowing when it's about to let go.
Smells Like We's giving it a red hot go, but can't seem to muster the pace to keep up with Eddie G. It's like chasing a roux on a motorbike. Hollywood couldn't script this better. Roll Postma's shadowing Smells Like We, waiting for the slightest misstep. Tell ya what, Smells Like We's got more guts than a croc in a boxing ring. Closing that gap and breathing down the neck of Eddie G. Hope Eddie G brought the aero guard, cause is about to get bitten.
The gap between them is just over 0.7 seconds. Can Smells Like We close that gap and get back in range? I can't see it happening at this point.
Wow, Megasaurus 55 is really pushing hard in these final moments of the race. The leader has done it. What an incredible performance from Megasaurus 55, who was simply untouchable today. This is a race that will go down in the history books.
You could feel the tension building throughout the race, but Megasaurus 55 remained focused and in control. That's what separates the winners from the pack.
Impressive second place finish for Roll Postma.
Strong work securing second place. Well done.
What a race from Eddie G. They kept their cool and secured a well-earned third place on the podium. Smells Like We and Rob Keane claimed fourth and fifth. With Jack M team in sixth. Wayne Pearson takes seventh.